Hello, my name is Shilpa. I am teaching today. Today I am taking the concept of hashing. So, hashing is a type of data structure. In data structure, there are many concepts like array, stack, tree, graph, etc., etc. But the thing is, why we need to follow this one among those things? The why we need to follow the because hashing stores and retrieves data at a constant time. It means that it stores the data, retrieves the data at the same time in a faster way. It means that we can access the elements in a faster way. That's why we use hashing. That's the main important point why we use hashing rather than these arrays and stacks. In artificial intelligence, mostly they might use hashing more than array and stacks, and they will use tree as well as etc. Let's take it to the next slide so we can talk about hashing more in the future slides. uh, what we are going to study in this class, that is hashing definition, the definition of hashing, and terminologies, methods, collision methods, not hashing methods, it's a hashing function methods. I will teach you what is hashing function. Let's get to the next slide. Okay, as I told you, the first content is hashing definition. What is what's the definition of hashing? Hashing is a method for storing and retrieving data from database in order of, that's not O1, that's one time. In order of one time. We call it one time. It's written O1, but we have to call it in as one time. It's called mapping technique. Okay, it means that it's a method. Okay, hashing is a method, it's a method in the data structure, but it stores the data, right? As commonly data structure is, we study data structure because we need to know what database are there, how it stores the data, everything. This is also a type of database. Hashing is a type of database or a method in a data structure which stores the data, and also we can retrieve the data from the database. Okay, that is hashing. Database means hashing. We can store and retrieve the data in the hashing. In which time, in how much time we can retrieve the data, I mean, did the asymptotic class or asymptotic notation class over in your class? If it's not over, then it might be difficult to understand, but the thing is, order of one time means constant time. It's a constant time. Okay, one time is constant time. At the time, at the time, at the same time, the storing can be done as well as the retrieving can be done. That's the specialty of hashing. That's why we use hashing main importantly. And this technique means storing and retrieving data at the same time, at the constant time, is called mapping technique. Okay. Okay, mapping technique. Has you solved what's mapping technique? Let's get to the hashing. What is hashing? Exactly what is hashing? How does hashing work? Exactly how does hashing work? Hashing is a technique or process of mapping keys and values into hash table by using a hash function. It means that it's a technique or a process of mapping keys. Okay, you need to know what's mapping keys or hash keys, something like that, right? Okay, we're going to study about mapping keys and hash table and hash function, which is here, which is in this line. We're going to study about this in future slides in the hashing terminologies. Yes, it's a hashing term. These three are hashing terminologies. Okay, so get to the, it's done faster. It's done for faster access to element. As I told you in previous slide, hashing is used because we need to access elements in faster way. Then we need to use hashing because it does storing and retrieving at a constant time. That's why it accesses faster than other things, than other data structures. The efficiency of mapping depends on the efficiency on the hash function used. Okay, how the hashing works? Hashing has a process. Okay, like it has a value which stores in the database. What's the database? That's a hash table. Yes, in arrays we have a database, that is array. Okay, in stack we have a database, that is like a table, like a box or something like that, right? ah in here we have a database that's called hash table. It has a name specific, that is hash table. It's a database which used to store hashing values, and hashing values are called mapping keys. Okay, we are going to store the value in the table. On what basis we are going to store? Like there will be a location for everything, right? In arrays we have a location, that's called index. Here also we have location, that's also called index. Same. So how are we going to store values, hashing values, that is mapping keys, in in hash table, in this index, in which index, in which value should be stored. How we are gonna know about that? That's called hash function. Hash function is gonna show you how we are gonna store value, in which index we are gonna store the value. Okay, let's get to the next concept, that is hashing terminologies. Terminologies means words, something which we use in hashing commonly. Search key, as I told you, we're going to store something value or some data. Those values are called search keys. Why we gave search key? Main importantly, why we gave the name of search key? Array has a name, that is value. Stack has a name, that is value. Like element or values. Why we use search key here? Something special word, right? Because we store a value which is unique. We store a value which is unique in the database, or unique in the hash table, a unique value which we are going to store in the hash table. That's why we call it as search key. See, let's see the definition. It's a main key which is used in the database or hash table. It's a unique key in the database. It's a main key, and it means it's a main value, or which we store in the database or hash table, and it's a unique value which we store in the database. Okay, let's see the example. First example is roll number is the key in the student data. You know student data. You have till these days you have read about student data, like student data stores like student example, student name, father name, mother name, student roll number, as well as student ID or student Aadhaar card number, student citizenship number, etc., etc., and student marks, etc. So, which is unique here? Which can't be same? Marks can be same. Marks can be same. In 50 students, 20 members marks can be same. Who knows? And this what? Name can be same. Who knows? In 50 students, 2 members name can be same. Like Shilpa, Shilpa, Ravi, Ravi, Geeta, Geeta, like the something same, similar. In students' data, father's name can be same. In students data, mother's name can be same, or now some students mother's name can be same. Everything can be same, but roll number can't be same, because for every single unique student there will be a separate roll number. So it's a unique, right? It's a unique. So those unique keys, those unique things are called search key. Those unique things can be only stored in the hash table. Got it? Hash table, I told you, it's a database. I'm going to show you how hash table looks like in the future slides. Let's we know what is search key first, at the first thing. Uh, okay, passport data. What is passport data? Passport data means, second point is passport number. In passport data means we're going to store about passport, like which customer came, what's his name, what's the passport number, and what's the other number, where he's going, when he's going, which flight he's taking, which flight he landed, in which country he landed, from which country he came. Every single information we're going to store. We are to store the data in the database in the airport. Commonly in airport we store like that, in those way, right? So there's gonna be passport number which is unique. Pass Customer name can be same. Customer flight can be same. Many members go to the one same flight, right? No, one member can't be travel in one flight. 50 members can travel, or 100 members can travel. Who knows? And those members are all single one name can be same. Like everyone names can be Shilpa. Who knows? Those, so the main unique number is passport number. Yes. Ad- Okay, now everyone got clarity, right? Passport number is a unique key value, and roll number is a unique key value. That's why we call the passport number and roll number as a search key. There are some search keys which I listed, like 24, 52, 34, 91, 51. If it comes to number, search key can be anything. Search key can be anything. If numbers cannot repeat whatever it want. If it repeat also, we will use hash function to locate the index value, right? That time the index value will be showed the same thing, and there is also some method which we call that, it's a method. Okay, we will talk about that in the further slides. Let's we get to the next second point in the terminologies, that is hash table. As I told you, hash table is database. It's type of database. It's a type of data structure. in which the address and key value of the data element is generated from a hash function. It means that it's a type of data structure which has an index value like an array. Array is a type of data structure. It has an index value, right? It has a location to store the value. Example, if there is 24 value, we will store the 24 value in third element, in third box. Third box is called what? Third box index value what? Second. 2 is the index value of a third box. And which element is stored? 24 element is stored in that. The same way, it's a called location, index value. The same way in hash table, it's a called locations. Every value we need a separate location to and to uh, if you want to insert some values or search keys in the hash table, then you need a location. How you will know what location in there is example there is 10 boxes. In which box you have to store? You have to know the location, right? In which location we have to store the 24 value. So we will use hash function to calculate the index value or location. Okay, let's see next thing of the data element is generated from a hash function. As I told you, this enables very fast data access as the index value behaves as a key for the data value. Okay, I told you it access faster and it enables the search faster, it inserts faster, it does everything faster. Hash table. That's how, because because of the only main reason, because it stores and it is the constant at a constant time, as well as the index value behaves as the key value for the data value. Means there is some value, there is a main important search key, and for the search key index value is the location, index value is the house. Example, there is a girl named Shilpa, then there is a house for her. That house is a location of her. If there is no house, then we can't know where is Shilpa. Example, there is a friend of me searching for my house to meet me, then we need a house for to stay, so she can identify where am I. If I don't have a house, how she's gonna identify where am I, where I'm gonna stay, where she can meet me, right? The same way, if it is index value, because of that, the access of data can be faster. This is the second reason. And let's get to the next point. Hash is the process of transforming any given key or string of characters into another value. Hash is a process. I told you hashing is a method, hashing is a process, hashing is a technique, everything is a process of transforming any given key or string of characters into another value. I didn't told you, maybe I mentioned in the previous slides, there's something specialty in hashing. The specialty is that it maps larger values into smaller values by using the concept of hashing. Do you know? It means that yeah, example, we're going to store values, right? It stores larger values into smaller values. Means it stores smaller values. First of all, it stores smaller values, small informations. Second thing is it stores in an ascending order. That's what it's saying. It stores in an order wise. I'm trying to tell that it stores in an order wise. That's the specialty of this hashing. The same point here is also telling it transforms any given key or string of characters into another value. It means that it can change the value in an location. Example, there is Shilpa living in Electron City. We can change Shilpa from Kalavati. We can make Kalavati live in the Electron City. We can remove the Shilpa. The same way, we can change the elements or an search keys in the hash table in an index value. Got it? Okay. Then let's we get to the, or we can change the value itself if we want. Okay, let's we need to go to the hash table. What is hash table? Hash table is a container to store the key value pairs. Hash table is what? It's a container. Okay, as I told you, it's a container or it's a database, means a base or a box which stores the data. Database means that's it. It's a container to store the key value pairs. It stores key value pairs, means value of keys. Okay, it stores value in it's a container which stores the value in hash table. Okay, hashing is a built-in method. Hashing is a built-in method, means it's a type of method. Array, stack, tree, you can't use that in your own way. Okay, there is some rules for that, there is some syntax for that. You have to follow those syntaxes, then itself it will get to reality when you are using the programs in a coding way. But about hashing, it's a built-in method in the C language. It's a built-in method. It's a hashing name built-in method which you can use in coding language, in programming language. It doesn't have complex syntaxes like array and stack. Okay. Do you know at last paragraph, I wrote two meaning, hashing and hash table. Why I wrote these two meaning? Because I want to show you what's the difference between hash table and hashing for those who are getting confusion. Please see these two meaning both at a time so you can understand what these two means. Okay, let's get to the next slide. I told you how the hash table looks. I will tell you in the next further slides. I told you in the previous slide, right? So here, take a look. This is how hash table looks. This is a hash table and there is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, right? Those numbers are search keys. Okay, the 11 is a search key which is stored in a one index value. Yes, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is an index value. And how many boxes are there to store, how many locations are there, I'm going to ask you how many indexes values are there to store in the hash table. You can tell that there are 10 values, there are 10 indexes value. But if we ask question, instead of how many, if we ask question what are the index values are there, you can tell 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I'm going to ask a question like 15 is a search key, in which place it's stored? In 5. What's the 5? It's an index value. Huh. Now you got the clarity what is index value, what is search key, and what's hash table. The hash table is this all things included. These all things are called hash table. See, I wrote hash table, index, and search key. Let's get to next slide. And I told you, I forgot to told you. See, there is a search key inside the one, right? That's 11. One index stores a search key, that is 11. How we are going to store the 11 in one? You have a calculation, you have a process. That process is called hash function. We are going to talk about third terminology in the next slide, that is hash function. Let's get to third one. Hash function. What is hash function? Hash function is a data structure, right? It's a data structure. A hash function is a data structure used to store, calculate the hash value of a key. It's used to store or calculate hash value of a key, which is then used to store and retrieve the corresponding data. Hash functions are often used in conjunction with an array where the hash value is used as an index in the array. See, hash function does only one thing, as I told in this whole definition says only one thing. It's a complex definition, but let me tell you in small thing. Hash function is a data structure which calculate where the hash value uh, should be stored in the hash table, and the place which is one of the location which is going to store the hash value in is called as index in the array. See, this is the smallest and simplest definition I am telling. Okay, let's get to the second. What at last everything is over. We are going to talk about hash function methods. Yes, we have some methods. I told you it's a calculation, right? It's a calculation. Here also it's mentioned it's a calculation. uh, then how the calculation is does? Yes, those hash function calculation has methods, like it has types of calculations. That's division method, mid square method, folding method, multiplication method. Okay, here main important division method is important for you to learn. So I have mentioned one division method in my class, but in the next class, if I get the chance to explain this hashing further, I would like to explain mid square, folding, multiplication method as well. Okay, division method. Let's know what is division method. How from using division method, how can we calculate the location where we can store the value? How can we calculate? Let's see. The division method involves mapping a key k into one of m slots by taking the remainder of k divided by m as expressed in the hash function. What it's telling means division method has one thing, that is k, that is m. Actually, in the Google or in the math textbooks, everywhere there is written m. But the thing is, you have to keep it in mind, it's n. K mod n. Mod means modulus, means division means what? Division means it calculates the quotient. But the thing here in division is modulus. We are doing modulus function, modulus method. Division method means modulus method, which we are calculating remainder, not a quotient, but a remainder. Okay, I told you about k mod n now. K mod m, okay? M means what? There is no definition here clearly because M, it's wrong. You have to tell N. N means number of search keys. Number of searches. How many search keys are there? N means number of search keys. Okay, K means key. A key which stores the value. Okay. K mod n. As I told you, K mod n it is. Okay, let's get to the picture. I have pasted a picture. See that picture, please. Um, that looks like an array. Actually, it's not like an array. As I told you in the previous slide, it looks like this. Hash table looks like this. But I have mentioned here array in an array way because I told you hashing works like an array. Hashing stores an index value which is an index of an array. Okay? Hashing almost works like an array, fully works like an array. But the thing is, it uses hash function and calculates the location, then stores the value. But array does not calculate the location. Okay, that's it. Array does not have an does not I mean you can store any value in any place, but array it cannot be done. You have to store line wise. You have to store like a group wise in an like you will store a single array, single dimensional array, double dimensional array, everything we are going to store group wise, right? That's it. Let's we get to the division method once more. 36 modulus 8. See the first point, 36 modulus 8. There is a key value that is 36. Okay, as I told you, k mod n. Center there is a symbol, right? That's a mod symbol, modulus symbol. 8 is number of keys, number of search keys, number of indexes. N k mod m, number of indexes. See how many indexes are there? 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Total how many indexes are there? 8 indexes are there. You have to include 0 as well as, so there will be 8 indexes. So we have mentioned 8. That's the number of indexes, number of search keys. And what's the search key? What's the key? That is 36. 36 modulus 8, k mod n. So what's the remainder? It's 4. 36 modulus 8, if you do that, you will get a remainder of 4. So it means that you have to store the 36 in fourth index, in fourth location, fourth home. Okay, well, let's see in the picture. There is a 36 in the fourth home, right? Yes, it is. The same 18 modulus 8. What's the remainder? The 2. So we're going to store 18 in 2 second index. Is there a in the 18 in the second index? Yes, it is. Okay. In the same way, 72 modulus 8 is 0. In 0 we store 72. 43 modulus 8 is 3. In 3 we are going to store 43. 6 modulus 8 is 6, which you are going to store in 6. See here, the 6 search key is stored in 6th index, right? Okay, as it's all done, let's get to the next thing. I told you about one method. I am not going to explain every single method I told you in this class because covering up every single content in one video is tough. So example, let's see. There is an thing like 28. See in second index there is in two index there's 18, right? 18 is stored. You're gonna now calculate 28 modulus 8. That time you're gonna go 2 second index, second remainder. Then you have to store in 2 index 28. Wait, 18 is already stored in 2. Then how are you going to store 28 in 2? I mean, you have to store both value in the one location. It's impossible. In hashing, it's impossible. You can't store two values in one location. So you have to change the value, right? You have to change the value. So you have to change 28 instead of 18 in second index. How are you going to change? That's called collision. When this problem arises, like there is a two values in one location, like this problem arises, that time we use the thing called collision. Here next topic is collision. A collision occurs when more than one value to be hashed by a particular hash function. I told you more than one value like 18, 28, 48, 58, 68 like that. So more than one value is stored, or it's asking to store the information more than one value in one location. Then in a particular hash function, hash is the same slot in the table or a data structure being generated by the hash function. It's told here. I mean, in one index, we can store only one value. But instead of one value, we have to store 10 values or 2 values, 3 values. It's impossible. In that time, that problem, that method, or whatever arises that time, that concept is called collision. And to solve this collision or to solve this problem, we use collision resolution techniques. There are some techniques to solve these things. That is called collision resolution techniques. What are those things? There is two techniques: separate chaining, open hashing. Separate chaining, another name is open hashing. Open addressing, another name is closed hashing. Yeah, these are simple techniques which you can learn easily. I can't cover these two as well as in this same video, so I skipped this one. As everything is over in this thing, yeah, there is one more slide. Yes, as I told you, see here, I gave an example here. If the hash function returns a slot that is already occupied, there is a collision. See, this hash function returns a slot. Like here, 18 is already stored in second index, right? Then we are storing once more 28. There is a hash value already, search key already in the index value. So hash function gave me another search key for the same index value. That time the collision arises as the sentence tells. See the example below. There's a key, there is a value, and key see Fred value Indo in zero index. Zero is an index. See the key 129007. This is a key value. Only key value is stored for the zero index, right? So you can't change it. But the thing is, you can change it, but the thing is you can't store two values at a time in there. Hash function, I did the calculation just now. Another, I took one more value and did the calculation just now. It showed that there is one more hash, the search key for the same zero index. What is that? 926647 here, h value. So we can't store two values in one index, so that's what is called collision, as I have wrote example here. So here our class ends here, and my sessions ends here. As I told you everything, let me just revise if once more if you got confusion. Like, I'm going to just tell definitions of everything. Hashing, it's a method for storing and retrieving data from database in order of one time or constant time. It's called mapping technique. And search key, we search that on the basis of some key in the database. Means it's a main key, it's inserted in the database in the hash table. Okay, and also I forgot to tell, we can use almost, there is a thing called record, right? If you use array like the two-dimensional array, there is an two row or columns, right? If there is a row and columns, there is one more thing, the tuple. You heard about tuple, right? You also have heard about records. Those records, yes, records, you can store the values in the records as well as. But what's the difference between records and search key here? Yes, tell me. Array is called record and here it's called search key. What's the difference between these two? Why we need to call one is search key? Because record stores many values, but search key stores only one value. Search key is only one value. Search key denotes only one value. Example, record stores father name, mother name, student name, so student roll number, every member's roll number, every student's roll number, everything. But search key stores only one value, that is roll number. Only roll number in the student data. That's it. And only one roll number, not two, three roll numbers as well as. That's the difference between search key and record. Search key helps us to do unique, find out easily in a unique way. Okay, let's see how we're going to use hashing in a real way. Let me tell you what's the example way. Let's see. Okay, there's a thing called news. Okay, news. Commonly, today is what? Today is the date of. Commonly today is 19/9/2023. So today there is an accident and fashion designing, Kannada, English, and sports, about film actors and the designing of the cars, new Tesla release, everything news came out for today. So I want the news of film. I was searching for years, for months. I was waiting for a second season of an Alia battle. So I heard that today came out. I heard from my friends. I want to know about Alia battle. You're gonna go to Google and search in the search engine Alia battle today's news, today's new release. Like that you will search. That time it shows what you want. That's called Alia Battle is a search key here. Separate unique key. You're searching the unique key using the search key. So we can use like this in hashing. We can use hashing in the search engine as well as in Google in everything. Like this, you can use hashing in the real life, etc. And thank you. I would like to explain in the next video about hash function, other methods, and collision techniques as well as. Thank you.